can't find my hairbrush. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would share with you just what is in my makeup bag. I own a lot more makeup than this, but this tends to be what I rely on for day-to-day stuff. Sometimes I shake it up, but yes, I just thought I would share with you. First of all, I'm going to start with the bag. This bag is a Yves Saint Laurent bag. Don't worry, I got it free with a perfume set, but I particularly like using this bag because A, it's quite big, but it's also quite big this way. I find sometimes they're sort of a lot thinner, whereas this can fit a lot in. I think the shape's really good, so that's why I tend to use this one. I know it's a bit plain and black, but whatever. Let's open it up. First thing on top is the Naked Basics palette. Now this is actually the only Naked palette that I own. I'll just open it up for you there. You may not be able to see, but I've actually hit pan on the shade Walk of Shame. And recently I've been using the colour Faint a lot for my eyebrows, just simply because that means I just have to carry around one palette. This is all matte shades bar the last one, which is a slightly shimmery highlighty colour. For everyday use I tend to just go for a matte neutral lid with liner. And as I said, I use a shade for my eyebrows, so that's kind of like a 2-in-1 type thing. So I've got that there. Next up I have got my Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curlers. I really like these. From the few Kevyn Aucoin products I've tried, I haven't been all that fussed with them, but these are really, really great quality and I would actually really recommend these. I think they're around £17. For eyelash curlers, that's actually a pretty good price, so yeah, I really do like these. Next up, I have the Mercier oil-free tinted moisturiser and I'm in the shade Porcelain. This I think is a really nice just skin colour. This is a great everyday base and it's really fuss free. I don't use a brush with it, I just use my hands. And yeah, I really like this. As you can, I bought this actually whilst I was away in summer and you probably won't be able to tell, but this it's definitely got some squeeze marks in it. So I think that's a real testament to how much I've been liking this base, seeing as I've only had it roughly 3 months. Day to day I tend to go for something that's sheerish coverage and a fairly natural finish, which I feel this is, and this is really nice. I have two little Nars products here. First one is the Celestial Translucent Powder. This is obviously the pressed version. You can definitely see that I've hit pan on this one. And what's really great about this powder, particularly with travelling, is the packaging is really sturdy, and particularly this powder is really pressed, so I don't think it's going to shatter if I carry it around with me. I've also taken to using a lighter brush so I can hold on to this for longer. But yes, I really do like this powder. I think this is fantastic. And the second one is the Olympia palette, also something that I've hit pan on. I've hit pan on the highlighter on this side. I like using the highlighter underneath my eyes to set my eye makeup and sort of brighten that up. It's yellow tone, so I feel like that counteracts a lot of discoloration underneath the eyes, so I think that's really good. And I also really like the contour powder. But yeah, this is a really nice contour shade for me and it's no fuss, and Nars are fairly well known for their powder products, so again these are really, really great. I'll get out a couple brushes now. This is the Real Techniques contour brush and this is what I use to set my under eye makeup. I know it is like a nice shape obviously for contour, but I find it fits really nicely underneath the eye too, so that's actually what I use to set my under eye concealer. And I use the 109 Luxe face paint brush by Zoeva to put my contour in. As you can see, it looks very much like a paintbrush, but it's nice and thin and flat and just pops on nice and easily. And yeah, I just think it really just does the job and I really do like this brush too. I've got a primer here. This is the Benefit POREfessional. This is a very famed primer. I have oily combo skin and a typical side effect from that is having rather large pores, and I definitely, particularly on this cheek, not as much, I have them definitely on both sort of parts of my cheeks here, but particularly this side, it's like a cavern, I swear. It's like craters in my face, and then I also get them a bit on my forehead, so I tend to just run this here, over my nose and on top of my forehead, sort of right in the centre of my face, and I think it makes a difference. This isn't a product that sort of minimises your pores, it just hides them, but I think it does it well. Next up I have a MAC paint pot. This is in Painterly and this again is just like a skin colour. Sometimes if I can't be bothered to put eyeshadow on, what I'll do is I'll just take my finger, rub this over my eye and then take the bronzer through my crease. So that just sort of I find is really easy. I find this is a really close colour to my skin. I think when I put this in my favourites, I sort of said even those people who don't wear eyeshadow all the time, I think just something like this just to bring it back to square one is foundation for your eyelids, because I know I get sort of oily, veiny, horrible eyelids and look a bit weird, particularly if I've got sort of a made up face and I've just left my eyelids Does that make sense? Anyway, so I've got that and I really like that. It's also matte as well. As you can see, I go for quite a lot of matte things. Next up is my current mascara. This is the Covergirl Clump Crusher. If you live in the UK, this is the Max Factor Clump Defy False Lash Effect mascara. It's exactly the same. Hang on if I show you the brush. Like the packaging, bar the colour is exactly the same, and so is the brush, and I imagine the formula is exactly the same. I know Covergirl and Max Factor I think are the same brand, but I picked this up for my $20 makeup challenge and I like the mascara, so that's what I'm using right now. Next up is my favourite blush of all time, which is the Mineralise Skinfinish in Stereo Rose. The reason I don't particularly talk about this much is because it's limited edition. It came out in one of their spring collections, but I know they've brought this out a couple times before, so I imagine it will come out, if not next year, probably the year after that. I really wish I picked up maybe even as much as 3 of these, and they're like £20 a pop, so you know, that tells you how much I like it, although look how much product you get. So I believe these are like £21.50, and hang on, let me tell you how much product you get in Skinfinishes. 9 grams for a blusher, and sometimes they do them just as highlights, so that's quite a lot of product, and I use this every single day. You probably won't be able to tell, but I've actually made like a serious dent in this because I usually don't. But yeah, that's what I've got on my cheeks today, and it's probably what I have on my cheeks most days if I'm perfectly honest with you, just because I really like the finish that it makes. It's sort of like a rosy gold with like gold through it, which isn't something I technically think I'd lean to, but I heard Amber Lights is very similar to this, and I have bought Luminoso by Milani, which is also very similar to this, so that's what I'll be using after this is gone, but I don't want to think about that too much. That's the blush that I use, and this is the brush I use to apply it. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. That's so hard to say. Blush brush. I don't think there's many blush brushes which are this sort of shape. Like, I don't know, I just think it just does the job really well. Literally, I just dab it in the product, ding 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 ding, and I think it just disperses it well and is a good shape for my cheeks. So I really do like using this brush. Speaking of brushes, this is the crease brush I've been using at the minute. This is a Smashbox one. I think it's like their large crease brush. It doesn't have the name on it, and it's in the limited edition packaging from their Christmas set last year. It's a bit bigger than a 217. I may well have one of those knocking around. I don't actually. And yeah, this tends to be what I use on my eyes just to run stuff through the crease. I've got a nude lipstick here. This is from L'Oreal. This is their collection exclusive, and this is Eva's Nude, which is sort of like more of a brownie type nude. This isn't like the most pigmented of lipsticks, so like you can easily pop it on, no mirror, and I wouldn't say it's completely matte, but I wouldn't say it's glossy in any way at all. So I like using this one, as I said, just popping it on. But to be honest with you, the reason that I've only got 4 is about like the reason I haven't got that many lip products in there is because I tend to have my lip products just knocking around in my bags or my pockets. So, but I've now got 4 other lip products to show you. Hang on, I'll show you them all now. From Kate Moss's Velvet Matte Lip Collection, this is shade 101, which is like a dusky pink. So if I just want something a little bit more perky on my lips, and yeah, I've been trying to wear more pinks recently just because. If I wanted a little bit more of a glossy option, I have got the Colour Stain Moisture Stain by Revlon, and this is in 25, which is Cannes Crush, which is sort of a corally colour. That's, I think, been in my favourites before. And so is this one, which is what I've got on my lips today, which is the Nars Lip Pencil in Red Square. It's quite a bright orange toned red. P.S. I definitely want the Nars pencil set for Christmas. Like, they're smaller, but like, I have had this a good while and I haven't even sharpened it, so... Cool, I've got an under eye concealer here. This is from Bobbi Brown. This is their creamy corrector, and this is in the shade Porcelain Bisque. I've gone through a whole one of these, which, like, for the size of it, obviously it's for just your under eyes, and you'd be surprised how long they actually take to go through, so I quite like those. I've also got the Nars Creamy Radiant Concealer here, which I tend to put over the rest of my face, and I also use for touch-ups. I have recently written a post on how much I love this, but how sad it makes me, how expensive it is, and how quickly I go through it. So I've got a few other concealers to go through, so I don't think this is going to be an immediate repurchase after this one runs out, but I know I will return to it at some point. But yes, I do love this concealer, it's fantastic. Only a couple more products. I've got my eyeliner. This is the Tattoo Liner by Kat Von D. I really like this. This is like a pen liner, but it's like got brush tips on it, so it's like hairs. And I don't know why, I just think that really helps, and yes, I really like this liner. I wish I picked up more, but saying that, it's lasted pretty well. Like, it's pretty good packaging, so it hasn't dried out or anything, touch wood. So yes, I've been really enjoying that one. I've got the Zoeva 317 wing liner brush, which is what I've been using to put products through my brows. The faint colour in the Naked Basics palette, that's what I've been using, and I quite like this one because I find, say the Real Text brush I feel is too thick for brows, and I don't know, I just think this is a really nice brow brush. And last but not least, oh my god, last but not least, I have the Terry Ombre Black Star, and number 5, which is Misty Rock, which is sort of like a, ooh, let me, where is it? It's gone. The product's gone. What? Okay, so this was an eyeshadow stick, a really expensive eyeshadow stick, which I used a couple of weeks ago and the product fell out, but I put it back in and it is not there. I don't understand. I don't understand what's just happened. I don't understand what's just happened. It's a product that's really easy to use and to pop on, and it makes a high impact, and the colour Misty Rock is really nice. What's just happened? I don't understand what's just happened. Well, I'm going to try and solve the mystery of where the innards of my Ombre Black Star went. What the fuck? That's mental. Anyway, so that is everything in my makeup bag, which is what I tend to use to create everyday looks. I asked Matt to help me find it. We found we found the eyeshadow stick on the floor, guys. Don't worry, don't panic. So yeah, this is what it looks like if you're wondering. Look at that. Wow, £30, eh? Just on the floor. Anyway, bye! My best friend Mitch and I went shopping the other day, and I went